Sorry, Soumya. Your land has become the haven of Islamic terrorism and your people have become its followers. We are sorry, Soumya Santosh, one of the victims of Hamas missile attack on Israel. Native of Idukki in Kerala, Soumya worked as a caregiver, was killed in a rocket attack launched by Palestinian terrorists from the Gaza coastal strip recently. But sorry, Soumya, your mortal remains are not important enough for leaders of the left or right political fronts or state administration to be received at the airport. Reason, you were in Israel and was killed by an ambush from Gaza and not the other way around. The political masters in Kerala would have crowded to see her last had she been killed in an attack by the Israeli Defense Forces IDF. Having been working in Israel and fell prey to the missile attack by Hamas terror group made everything different for Soumya, even though she is a war victim. No government representative or leaders from the LDF or UDF were present either at the airport or at her house to pay last respects to Soumya. All of them are supporters of Palestine, now ruled by the terrorist outfit Hamas. The Kerala government and politicians keep shedding tears for the dead in Palestine. Half-heartedly though, the Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan and the former Chief Minister Umman Chandi had condoled the attack. However, they did not condemn Hamas. Moreover, thanks to criticism for having condemned Palestine, they had to either edit or delete and rewrite their posts later. But to make their part safe as non-communal, LDF has done one thing. Minister M.M. Mani was assigned to visit Soumya's house along with her husband's house. He assured the family that everything would be taken care of. But nothing was done from the part of the left government, that's all. Only BJP stand with the bereaved family. The leaders of this party alone was there to receive and accompany the dead body of Soumya till funeral. BJP leaders alleged that LDF and UDF leaders had to correct their FB posts due to the fear of religious extremists. Islamists in Kerala have since long been highlighting the warm relations India had with Palestine during the Congress regime. And at the same time, they were critical of the Jews and Israel. This exactly had reflected when Soumya's body reached Kochi airport last day. Let's leave the Kerala angle of the West Asian conflict and analyze the bigger picture of the ongoing crisis there. Jerusalem in Israel is home to major religious sites sacred to Jews, Christians and Muslims. It has been the scene of violent confrontations between Jews and Arabs for 100 years and continues. The latest clashes began a month ago with an Israeli move to block some unhealthy Palestinian gatherings during the holy month of Ramadan. Also, an attempt by the Israeli officials to evict few Palestinian families from East Jerusalem kickstarted the recent conflicts. There were clashes between Palestinian protesters and Israeli forces in the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in Jerusalem's Old City. But the Hamas in the Gaza Strip in Palestine reacted fiercely and attacked the military might Israel instantaneously. Hamas, the militant group that rules Gaza, began firing rockets on Israel. But this triggered retaliatory airstrikes by Israel. At least 190 people, including 54 children and 37 women, have been killed and 1,225 more injured in the Israel attacks on Gaza. The dead included over a dozen Hamas top leaders. Well prepared with over 6,000 missiles in store, Hamas reacted with firing over 1,000 missiles to Israel on Friday. But thanks to the Iron Dome technology, the high-tech Israelis have in places for defense, only few fell on targets. Israel also lost lives and got their people wounded. Parts of one missile intercepted hit an apartment complex, and it took the life of Soumya Santosh, who was inside the apartment talking to her husband in Kerala. Despite international pressure, Israel is unrelenting and continues airstrikes on Gaza. It has already grounded at least 4 multi-storied buildings in precision bombing. Al-Lala Tower, a multi-storied building in Gaza Strip, where media offices of Al Jazeera and Associated Press function, was grounded. Israel and Hamas are not fighting each other for the first time. But this time, the intensity appears to be much more as Hamas seems to be well prepared and has been retaliating strongly. They are being fueled by a few Islamic countries as well as many international Islamic terrorist outfits. But the Western world is supporting Israel in their endeavor to combat terror outfits like Hamas. And Israel's military capability is likely to teach Hamas a good lesson this time. Please subscribe the channel. Also, click the bell button to get the latest updates.